Hi, how you doing? Just wondering if you can give me a couple of minutes just for some quick updates. First update is that the big thank you is coming around. So this is a big thanks for everything everyone's been doing across the COVID situation, which has really been appreciated by the senior leadership team. Everyone will know about the fact that they'll be able to have a day off on their birthday. But on top of that, we've also got this big thank you £1,000 per team thing going around. Unfortunately, that £1,000 is for the entirety of the DIS team. So there's a call out to come up with suggestions for what we do with that £1,000. There's been suggestions around raffles. There's been so that a fewer people can get maybe vouchers from Marks and Spencers or whatever, as opposed to spreading it out across the whole team. So it's something of value. There's been suggestions about giving it to charity and so on and so forth. So in that vein, a questionnaire is coming out. We did not complete a sufficient number of the staff survey to get a proper report back. So a questionnaire has been pulled together by Simon and the SLT team, which is a survey monkey basically. That will be coming round, and we'd be really grateful if people could fill that in. Part of that questionnaire, as well as asking about how it is around here and things like that, part of that questionnaire is about your suggestions for how we look to spend the £1,000 big thank you. And what we will do, regardless, is when we've got some ideas, we might end up with doing some sort of a voting system or whatever against the ideas. So then we're in a situation where we go with what most people think. Other things that are going on at the minute. The financial situation is very difficult. We're doing what they call run rate, which is based upon our budget to set based on exactly what we spent in quarter three last year. That means anything additional in our budget, although it's in our budget, if we weren't spending it, then we can't be spending. So that's quite problematic for us. But I'm having discussions with Andy Bertram, Neil Barrett's helping, and all that in terms of trying to sort some of that out. Some other things that we've been looking at, of course, appraisals. Just want to remind people, I've almost completed all of the SLT appraisals. Appraisals are really important. Don't forget about evidencing how you have met some of the values and behaviours. Just a reminder, if you want to see what your values and behaviours are, they will be on your email signature. So you probably need to change your email signature. So for people's information, the email signature you will see on the bottom of this email, I hope, the new email signature has kindness, openness and excellence. So that's they're the new values. So you can see everything on Staff Room about those. You need to evidence how you are meeting those values. They're the values which came out the Clever Together work. So that's from the feedback from the staff. Other things, other news, SLT have done some work around how can we work smarter rather than harder. You might have heard about that, spend 15 seconds to save someone else 30 minutes. There's a course, I understand that, again, if you go through your appraisal process at the end of it, you get the option to see some supporting courses and training that's available. And this is one of them. How can you spend 15 seconds to save 30 minutes? So by example, that might be, for instance, if you send emails, consider who you're copying. Do you really need to copy everyone in? If you're sending an email, maybe you put an instruction on the email in terms of this is what I want from this email, or spending that 15 seconds, which could save someone else 30 minutes from trying to read the whole trail, or just read the third thing or whatever. So just some suggestions about how we work a bit smarter rather than harder. And Simon and SLT have come up with some suggestions in terms of how we might run meetings more effectively. Let's not have people coming to the meetings for the sake of it. Let's be clear that there's some clear actions about what we're doing, turning up on time, etc., etc. And we're also working up some etiquette around meetings, emails, etc. So once they're done and dusted, we'll share them around and really welcome people's views on that, just to try and get a bit more time back, because we're conscious how busy and hard people are working, and how much time are we wasting, as it were. Conscious of the fact there's a lot of discussion about home working or people coming back to the office and all of that. Situation at the minute is that clearly, not everyone can come back. That's not the idea. But from my perspective, it's about the discussions in your teams about what's the optimal way of working. So if it's a bit of in and out the office, that might be optimal. Sometimes you need to get together with your team meetings. Really keen that people aren't isolated and they feel part of the team. So I think it's important to have those discussions actively in your team meetings about what's the best way that home and flexible working can work. Just a few thank yous as well. Big thank you to Paul Chappell for ownership of some DIS-wide compliance work, so the compliance elements and governance around security, the DSP toolkit and so on. So some great work there by Paul Chappell. So a great piece of work from Dave Ramshaw, collaborating with procurement on the HPE contract, and Shane Martin for the effort. And I know it's just not Shane, it's Shane and team, but definitely for the effort and commitment on the stadium project. I know people are working hard. There's a lot on, and it's really appreciated what's going on. Conscious that strategically, big things, co-stratify work is making good progress. Very comprehensive, the work that they've done and the target model that's coming out of there. The Netcompany work's not complete. Also the ethical work around the future of our electronic patient record system. So some of those things are going to be coming to fruition soon. So really keen to do some workshops or whatever to share some of that, or pick it up in the Making DIS a Great Place to Work. In terms of future target operating model and all that, still a bit of a work in progress. Clearly finances would impinge on that in this financial year, but we're thinking about that. Just want to be clear and open that they're still thinking about what might be a good way of implementing some changes to make some improvements and make things better for everyone. So yeah, just that reminder, remember the email signature, get that signature on. I expect everyone to have an email signature. I expect everyone to have an appraisal or an appraisal conversation. So I think all in all, that's that. Please, if there's any questions or anything to do, any questions of clarity or whatever, please get in touch with me, give me a ring, speak to your manager, pick it up in your team meetings, or pick it up at Making DIS a Great Place to Work sessions. Right, thanks very much everybody. Bye. Oh, and up Wales in the Euros.